Yeah, I'll react to that, sure.
Ah. Hey, I don't know why I just said that in a very high-pitched voice. Original link to the video, top of the description below that link to the Discord. Click on it, send it right over there. Would love to have you. USA versus Europe, guide to cultural differences. Thank you for the recommendation. I'm sorry I'm blanking on who it was. Thank you. Sure. USA versus Europe, guide to cultural differences. Honest guide. First time watching one of their videos, I believe. Let's do it. New sweater. I set up a Christmas tree. Let's do it.
Hey there, we are guides from Prague, Czech Republic, and this is one of our favorite pubs. But somebody just recently left a nasty review complaining about the fact that the waiter simply asked them, "You want a beer?" The waiter brought the beer, and then once the person was finished, they brought another beer. And this guy was complaining about it. What is he talking about? That's the best thing. Once you're finished with your beer, they bring another one. So for me, from the perspective of a Czech European,
I feel like I know what the feeling is like. I think that Americans are kind of like, we're very skeptical. We're thinking like you're pushing us to buy more, right? So that's probably what they meant. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I guess maybe that could be why they thought that.
With your beer, they bring another one. So for me, from the perspective of a Czech European, that's a good sign. For an American, that may be kind of weird or rude. So today we want to talk about cultural differences between our country, our city, and United States of America. First of all, you may be surprised what the beer looks like. Well, we have a video dedicated only to that. And second, when I walked in, I didn't look at a beer menu or something that may be quite common in the United States, where you have different beers on tap. Most pubs and restaurants in Czech Republic will have one brewery on tap in the pub. So that's why you can walk in and just say, "I'll have one." So I kind of like that. You walk into a pub and you don't have a million choices. You just say one. In US, not only you have a choice of beers that are on tap, quite often there's 5, 10, 20, but also they will ask you, do you want draft or bottle? What kind of question is that? The reason you go to a pub is to get beer on tap, to get draft beer. If you want bottled beer, you go to a supermarket. So for us, that's a big cultural difference that quite often we don't understand.
Yeah, so my best guess is that it's the, like, we feel like it's like, what are you, like, trying to make me pay more or something like that? I think that's probably why. But I like the one beer thing because I just want a beer, you know? I don't need, like, ooh, could I have this? You know, I like that.
Beer here costs 55 crowns. Let's call that $2.50 to round it up. Cheap. If you go to a stadium, to a sports event here in Prague, it's going to cost around $3. Well, nothing like that in US. If you go to a pub, it may cost $5, $6. And you go to a stadium.
Oh, you're paying $10 a beer, baby.
And it can cost $10, $15, even $20. Honza hates it. Whenever he goes to a sports event, he's always shocked with the price of the beer. I myself, when I travel to US, I usually don't go to sports events, but I like amusement parks. Just recently, I visited Universal Studios. It was the most expensive beer I ever had in my life. $15. I could not believe it. Now, I understand that going to amusement park, you don't go there for beer, you go there for the rides, but still $15?
I think there's like, look, I'm not someone who's like crazy anti-capitalist, like blah, 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 but I think it's much that reason that, like, hey, they're in a place where they're not going to be able to get a beer a lot of places, so jack up that price. If you really want a beer, you're going to pay for it. Or in a place where, like, someone is just willing to buy a beer, the price really goes through that thought process, I think, of, like, less neighborly.
Why did I do that? Also, fun fact, I did not take a picture of the beer, but I did take a picture of the receipt. Now, the price of the beer, as I said at the amusement park, was $15, but I was asked to pay more than $16. Why? It said 15. Well, tax was not included.
I hate this.
What is this about? We go to a place, and I'm not only talking restaurants, but any store, shop, and the price tag is the final price you pay. It says 55 here.
I have no clue why we do this.
It's gonna cost 55. They include the tax. Why don't you do that in the US?
I don't know.
It's just sad.
I don't know, and it's one of my biggest pet peeves. I don't know if it's my biggest pet peeves. I also don't like people standing on escalators. At least, like, move to the side so I can walk by you. You know? Am I weird? Like, escalator, I like to walk up an escalator. I'm not there to get, like, a breather. Be like, now I don't have to go up the stairs, and I hate it when people clog the escalator. Sorry, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, the tax. The reason it frustrates me so much is that what's the issue? Just add the tax to the price. The $5 footlong, I hated this thing. It should be false advertisement. It's like $5 footlong, you know, Subway? And I'd go there and get like it should be $5 footlong, and they always have the 5 in the commercial. You got one of these, you can get one of these. Okay, well, I'm walking to the Subway with one of these. You can get the bare minimum, most bland sandwich, no toppings. That'll be $8.92. I don't get it. Are we trying to trick? I can't stand that.
I mean, imagine me, I'm 11 years old, I have my first dollar ever, and I walk into a dollar store, looking forward to buy something for $1. I pick up the item, go to the register, $1.50. What? It's a dollar store, everything costs $1, not dollar store plus tax. Now let's switch from drinks to food. In any place,
it's like if they really wanted to be a dollar store, even with the U.S. tax system on goods in stores where you add it after, well, then price all of your items at like 83 cents or whatever it is, so that when the tax comes out, it's exactly $1. But no.
Can get some food, right? Mostly you pick something from the menu and no. In any plus tax.
Sorry, Timmy. No rubber ducky.
Now let's switch from drinks to food.
I'm so hungry. That looks so good.
Any place you can get some food, right? Mostly you pick something from the menu and no further questions.
I'm not a big blueberry pancake fan. I like blueberries, I like pancakes. I don't like blueberry pancakes. They're just too mummy.
Asked. Well, in the U.S., quite often
I'm pausing too much.
No further question can get some food, right? Mostly you pick something from the menu and no further questions will be asked. Well, in the U.S., quite often they will ask you how you want it customized. Do you want bacon? Do you want that cheese? Do you want this cheese? Do you want this or that and that? It gets quite confusing for us. And you can imagine me being 11 years old in U.S., in New Jersey, first walking to a restaurant, ordering a burger, very much looking forward to it. And they asked me, how do you want your burger done? I said, I don't know, very well done, thinking that they would make it completely. Yeah, you can imagine what happened. They brought this
just a burnt hockey puck.
Black piece.
I think they meant, like, do you want cheese on it or something? I've never had a fast food restaurant that has burgers ask me, like, you want it medium? No.
Of meat that was unedible. And all my friends had a laugh about it. Now, to be fair, if you go to a restaurant in Prague nowadays and you will have a burger, they will ask you how you want it done. But once again, the fact that you can customize anything at a restaurant in the US is very uncommon for us here. So if you come to a pub or a restaurant in Czech Republic, don't expect that you can customize every single item on the menu. That's why there's a menu with things that you pick from. I really hope we didn't lose our subscribers from the United States. We love you guys. So to say something that...
In fact, I'm going to subscribe to you right now. This is a great video. You gained an American.
We consider to be amazing in US that we don't have here is water. Free water at a restaurant, at a bar.
And you guys don't have free restrooms, which is crazy to me. It's like, look, when I gotta go, all right, if you're eating, maybe fast forward a bit, all right? I've always had stomach issues, okay? Like my whole life. Always, and so some people don't like going in public, like in a public restroom. I have no problem. I had to overcome it because sometimes my stomach acts up and I gotta find a restroom. If I didn't have any change on me and I'm like, oh God, I am barging over that freaking turnstile into the bathroom. Yeah, I didn't get that, but
anywhere. Right. You sit down at a table, and in US, you get a glass of water. Never happens in the Czech Republic, ever. Not only that,
no question.
If you ask for tap water, quite often they will say, no, we don't serve tap water. And you will get a tiny little bottle of water that you will pay for $2, $3, $4. It's ridiculous. I know a restaurant where I go to, and I will always say, can I get tap water? And they're like, no, we can't do that. We can only sell you a bottle. And I quite often say, I'll pay you the same price that I'll pay for the bottle for tap water. Like, no, we can't do that. Crazy. Why did we cut to here? Where we are here to thanks to our partner.
Ad time, that's why. Guys, whatever this is, please make sure it's not going to be Surfshark. Please use their link. The original link to this video, I will post at the top of the description. If this interests you, you get interested from here, or watching their video, please use their promo codes.
Which is Surfshark VPN. We're actually on the border with Germany, also many culture differences between them and us. But if you don't want any differences while traveling, but mainly while surfing the web, you can use Surfshark VPN because those differences will be gone. Let's say that you're traveling between US and Czech Republic and you like to watch some films that are only available in US, and you come to Czech Republic and those films may be gone. Well, you can open Surfshark VPN on your mobile device, on your iPad, on your computer, and you can pretend that the device is not in Czech Republic but still in US, and therefore you can continue watching whatever content there is that may be restricted only to one country. The example between Czech and US is only one, but you can put your device virtually anywhere around the world. Me and Honza use Surfshark VPN. If you want to try it out, you can do so. Use our code, which is HonestGuide, and you'll get 83% off and 3 months completely for free. The link is below the video in the description. And now let's cut from the border with Germany to the pub where I'm describing the differences between US and Czech Republic. Now let's talk about service in restaurants and pubs.
Shoot, I messed up. He needs his hat. It's okay, buddy. That was not as smooth as I wanted it.
And now let's cut from the border with Germany to the pub where I'm describing the differences between US and Czech Republic. Now let's talk about service in restaurants and pubs, because that may be a bit of a shock for you when you come to Prague. Yes, quite often it is rude and not polite at all. That's also a huge difference for us when we go to US, and a waitress will come to our table and she will introduce herself and she will smile and she will maybe recommend something from the menu. That would never happen here. I mean, it's changing, don't get me wrong. Service is getting better, but if you go to like a local place, a dive bar, which I would consider this place to be, quite often they'd be grumpy, and it takes a long time for them to get to know you, and after maybe a 20th visit, they will share a little smile with you. Not like in US. First time visitor, oh, I love coming you to our restaurant. My name is Wendy. Can I take your order? Hi, Wendy. Speaking of
tips.
Wendy, when I was first called darling or honey in a restaurant in US, I was like, she really loves me. She just...
I love when like an older, nice, cozy woman at like a diner says, hey, honey. Hi, darling. It's more in the South, you know?
Called me darling. I like that. I mean, I like the bartender here, but he never calls me darling. Let's make it stay that way, okay? We're tough guys. Even though the two of us consider the
I just burped. I'm so sorry. That was probably gross. I'm not editing it.
Tough guys. Even though the two of us consider the service at places in the United States very good and very nice and very polite, there is one thing that we consider to be very rude. And that is, you're finishing your meal or maybe you're halfway through and suddenly a bill lands on your table. What is that? Are you kicking me out? That would never happen here. Any business, restaurant, pub, coffee place tries to keep you in the place as long as possible. You're done with your meal, they'll offer you a dessert. You're done with your dessert, they will offer you coffee. You're done with your coffee, maybe you want to start over and have another appetizer. In other words, they want to keep you in as long as possible. You have to ask for the bill. In US, very often, you're halfway through, here's your bill. I'm like, well,
I can't speak enough for many Americans, but that would be really rude if you're eating, you haven't said you wanted to leave yet, and they just give you your bill. Am I crazy? Is that?
Well, maybe
I'd be like, what are you doing? All right, well, you're just gonna bring me another bill in a few minutes because I'm not done ordering, you know?
Something? No. The bill is already on the table. Just weird. Speaking of the bill, let's dive into tipping. And that can create some big issues because that's a big cultural difference.
I meant to hit pause and I end up hitting stop recording. Tipping. Last time I was in Europe, me, my dad, and brother went to UK first, flew into Heathrow, and then planned to go to Normandy, visit my great uncle's grave, Omaha Beach, and then drive, Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, Austria. So we were in England though, and the first hotel we stayed in at the first floor of the hotel was also like a bar, right? Like there was a pub. And I remember like my dad was like tipping, and then he came back, he was like, I wasn't sure. And then we asked two English guys, like, oh, what's the deal with tipping? They're like, no, you don't tip. And I guess it's almost seen as like rude. Like, as if, like, what do you think I need your extra money? Like, are you trying to be sympathetic or something? When, to us, it's like, no. We're not, we're saying, like, we feel like we are supposed to. Like, it's not a superiority thing. Like, I feel like European think it's like, oh, yeah, here's my, like, here's $2, here you go. I don't need it. That's not what we mean. We just mean, like, oh, like, how much do we get? Oh, yeah, here's the tip. So yeah.
In US, quite often we get asked, do you want to tip 15, 18, 20, 25%? Which for us is like, whoa, that's a lot. A quarter of the bill just tips because it's a tip-based country or tip-based business. In Czech, that used to be very, very different. I mean, my dad would only round up the bill to the next higher number. If the bill was 99, he would round it up to 100. I believe most of our dads and mothers still do that. Nowadays, it's changing even here, and tipping goes from 10% higher if you're satisfied with the service. If the service is really bad, some people will simply not tip. If that would happen in
like here, like in certain things, like like if you're being waited, like if you're in a restaurant where you're sitting down and you have and someone is, taking your order, you have a waitress, or sometimes like a delivery food or something, like if you give $0, that like they had to do something really bad. Some people are different, but it's not in everything. It's only in things where like someone is doing extra to, yeah, never mind. Yep.
In US that you would not leave a single cent on a tip. I've experienced people running out the restaurant and be like, what happened? What did we do wrong? Like, why did you not tip? So tipping is very, very different, and I'm curious what you will say about that.
I remember my story, like my mom said when she was younger working in a restaurant, like she had a pregnant coworker and she was waiting a table and like they were being really rude and bad, and like at the end of the day, like they only left like 2 quarters, and my mom said she like ran, like the pregnant waitress like ran out and just like chucked the thing. That might seem psychotic to people, right? Like what? Like they don't have to leave you anything. You're gonna go out and shut, but like it's different here.
In the comments, whatever country you're from, I want to read what's the average tipping in your country. Now, this cultural difference is not only huge, but I consider it to be evil, and that is packaging and garbage in general. I'm not talking about if you go to a place where it's a takeout or you go to a fast food. Yes, they put it in a paper bag, either if you're in US or here. But I'm talking about if you go to a restaurant and they create so much garbage, so much waste, even though you're at a restaurant. Quick example. Mostly if you get a drink at a bar in US, they put a napkin under it, so it soaks the moist that's running under it. Well, that's for one use only. Afterwards, they will throw away the napkin. How about they use coasters? Because you can reuse the coaster. And that's just one very simple example. Another one is if you order a ketchup at this place, they will bring it, either a bottle, some places in US do that too, or they put it in a ceramic cup that they clean afterwards.
A lot of the times they'll have it on like a ketchup bottle on each table.
It's not that they grab 20 ketchups and throw them next to your burger, or even in McDonald's in Czech Republic. You pay for every single tiny packaging of any sauce, any ketchup. So you think about if you want one or two. In US, yeah, can I get some ketchup? Here you go, here's a million ketchups in tiny...
Oh, this guy's great.
Or two. In US, yeah, can I get some ketchup? Here you go, here's a million ketchups in tiny little bags. No, don't do that. I mean, you guys are going all Michael Bay packaging, like, hey, yeah, that's a plastic bag, let's put it in a paper bag, and let's put more packaging and pack it up.
Make it explode.
You want it to go? Yeah, let's pack it up more. Whew. Meanwhile, in Europe, yeah, let's get rid of plastic straws. They really destroy the universe. There's going to be one hell of a discussion under this video. I absolutely love you guys from US, and I love going to US, just so you know. We both do. Please don't cancel my ESTA.
Canceled.
Now let's drop the beer for a minute, and let's talk about coffee and coffee culture differences between USA and Europe. Triggered already? Well, you'll get triggered more. Yes, in Europe, we do not consider this to be a cup.
A lot of the times I would get like a coffee in Europe would be like what I would consider like an espresso here. At least in like Paris or something. You know.
Of coffee. That's a gallon of coffee. If it's more than a gallon, it's not coffee. This is a cup of coffee.
Yes.
By the way, shock.
Exactly, yeah.
They have a cup of coffee in this pup. It's served in a ceramic cup. It's this size. You have a plate under it. It makes that little noise when you put it down.
Million times stronger.
You sometimes even get a spoon with it, so you can mix your little espresso. And this is how you drink it. Not a gallon. Doesn't fit in your car, so you can drive and sip on your little coffee soup throughout the day. Big difference, big shocker for us when we go to places in US and they simply don't serve something like this. Hold your horses. I know that coffee culture don't serve something like this.
Sorry.
Hold your horses. I know that coffee culture in US is changing depending on which state you live in, if you live in a city and so on, but still mostly people think this is coffee and you cannot get this.
Oh my God. Most beautiful McDonald's I've ever been in my life is we were on the way from Munich. A big like kind of bucket list thing I was really into World War II at the time, and like I wanted to see like, and World War I, like I made sure like I wanted to see go to a part of the Maginot Line in France and see a Dachau concentration camp museum. But after Germany in Munich, we drove into Austria towards Innsbruck, and in between that was the most beautiful McDonald's I've ever seen. It was like a 2-floor McDonald's, and they had their regular McDonald's counter, and then on right next to it was this like espresso cafe bar, but the espresso machines and looked like it was in a McDonald's, and it looked like a 5-star hotel, whatever you want to say, sort of set up. It was so cool. Like we tried to go to McDonald's as little as possible, as you do when you leave America. Sometimes, like, especially like when you get off a plane or you're tired, you just want to, just go to the McDonald's right there. I know we're in Europe, but, you know, whatever. the ones that I did go inside of, every single one of them was better than any McDonald's I've been to in the US.
It's sad for us Europeans. Can I get a cup of coffee? You want Venti Grande, Grande XL, Grande XXXXL, like the Italians drink.
Extra wide blonde.
Now this next cultural difference may sound weird, but I believe it should be addressed. And that is restrooms and toilet sizes.
Oh, I thought you were going to say paying.
In restaurants and pubs. And I'm not talking about the actual seat size, but I'm talking about you have a big pub and there's one toilet. There's like one restroom for the entire pub where there's like hundreds of people. And the stalls where you can like sit to do number 2 are very like see-through. Like there's no privacy. Like there's no door at the bottom. Like if somebody peeks, they can see you. Yeah, it's kind of strange. And girls talk about that a lot. Both our girls talk about it, how like it's kind of weird that
maybe I'm just weird. Like I like I said with my stomach issues, I have grown to some people have trouble going to the number 2 in a public restroom or something like this. Hey man, I'm going to the bathroom. You want to peek in there, you weirdo? It doesn't even cross my mind. I have to go to the bathroom. I go and I use it. You know what I mean? If someone's like, that's never happened to me before, I would just be like, what do you, huh? And then just keep on my business, you know? That's just me though.
The bottom, like if somebody peeks, they
it is a bit like it really, like you couldn't just, like what was the budget? You couldn't just elongate a foot on the top and bottom. Just a little? Is it like a fetish or something?
See you? Yeah, it's kind of strange. And girls talk about that a lot. Both our girls talk about it.
Well,
how
girls
like,
get like a couch
it's
in their
weird
bed.
that people can really see you. So that's a big difference. If there's a big pub here, it has many restrooms, many toilets, and it can, you know,
nice.
do the business people need and accommodate many people at the same time. And of course, the ones we mentioned are not the only cultural differences between our continents. There's many more. We can talk about different units. We can talk about different forms of transportation, how we move around cities and countries, how big are our cars and your cars, and many more topics. So let us know in the comments if you want us to cover more topics. And while you're there, please don't be mad at us. This was not made to insult you, only to give you perspectives on our culture.
I'm unsubscribing, this son of a jerk. Unsubscribing, disliking. Never come to America, you son of... Obviously not. If you get offended, you're nuts. Like, resubscribe. Loved... Much love from America. Great. Was an amazing video. Comment.
Habits not made to insult you, only to give you perspectives on our culture habits and your cultural habits that we experience when we go over to your lovely continent that we love to visit, but sometimes we're just like, huh, that's weird. We're the honest dudes from Prague. That dude's name is Honza. My name is Janek. We go by The Honest Guide, our channel full of content. So if you're planning to come to Prague, Europe, check out our videos. We do scams, we show you beers, we show you restaurants, coffee places, and cultural differences. I'll see you next week, Sunday. Czech word at the end, I'm going to teach you, we always teach Czech words, is how to say cultural differences. Kulturní rozdíly.
Kulturní rozdíly.
Kulturní rozdíly.
Man, I love this channel. This guy seems so awesome. I don't say this at the end of everything, okay? So I'm not like trying to get on my knees or anything like that. This was an amazing video. He seems like such a nice guy. Even without him saying the, this is, don't get too mad, you could tell. Just really good. I'm glad I found this channel. I'm sorry who recommended this. I will give you a shout out or something. I'll find you, I think. What was that?
Is how to say cultural differences. Kulturní rozdíly.
Kulturní rozdíly. Kulturní rozdíly.
Words is how to say cultural differences. Kulturní rozdíly.
Kulturní rozdíly. Kulturní rozdíly.
Backwards is how to say cultural differences. Kulturní rozdíly.
Kulturní rozdíly. Díly. Kulturní rozdíly. Kulturní rozdíly. What a great channel. All right, love you guys. Hope you're doing okay. We'd love to see your guys' comments, answer some of my questions. Let me know when you had to think. Let me know what is on your mind. Jesus Christ. I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye.